Got Lil Wayne popping on my iPod, thumping on the subs in the back of my crew cab. Redneck rocking like a rock star, sling a little mud off the back, we can do that. Friday night football, Saturday last call, Sunday hallelujah. If you like it up loud and you're hillbilly proud, then you know what I'm talking about. Let me hear you say, truck, yeah, wanna get it jacked up, yeah, let's crank it on up, yeah. With a little bit of luck, I can find me a girl with a truck, yeah, we can love it on up, yeah, till the sun comes up, yeah. And if you think this life I love is a little too country, truck, yeah.
There's the green. The race is on. They're off and running again.
Pitting yourself against the kind of competition we saw today and winning means you've really got the guts and nerve and skill that are the mark of a true champ. Within a matter of seconds only, they'll have him back in the race. And believe me, in a red-hot contest like this, seconds are important. Sure enough, Lorenzen's back in front.
Richard Petty takes the checkered flag going away.
Bill Elliott is going toward immortality.
20 years of trying, 20 years of frustration. Dale Earnhardt will win the Daytona 500. Side by side, right to the line.
It still stands today, man against man, with the common denominator, the machine. Not just any machine, not just any driver, the very best the sport has to offer.
Settle in, boys. All right, guys, let's be on our toes all day.
If success were easy, then everyone would be successful.
Quitting's the only thing that's easy. Because when you're in a place where there doesn't seem to be any way out.
The easy thing to do is not press forward, to not have the guts to accept whatever the challenge is.
But the hard thing to do is survive.
To push past the fatigue and the fear.
Realizing that if you survive, if you battle and struggle and simply refuse to give in, you'll look at the whole ride in a different way.
To get all the way to the top of the mountain.
It takes everything you've got.
And not a single ounce less.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
So you never back down.
You never give up
You never relent.
till the day is won.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back into the ETLR Live Studios. I am once again your play-by-play, your corner-by-corner commentary guy, some YO guy, 17, once again joined at the booth by UTLR Storm, and we are here to bring you race number 2 of the 13 in the regular season. where we are going to be doing the Homestead Roval tonight as compared to just doing the regular track. So you're going to see something a little bit different out of this track than you would see anywhere else. And with that, there's only going to be 34 laps, and we are running times for wear. So, with that in mind, there's only 15 drivers on the track. From what we've been told, they should be able to make it all the way through the first and second stage without any pit stops. And the last one, there will definitely need to be a pit stop. But we'll get to that here in just a little bit. But Alex, it's been a little bit since these trucks have been on the track. What should we expect to see, especially with a new layout such as this?
Yeah, so glad to be back. Once again, for a great night in the truck series, like you mentioned. We do have the 15 drivers racing, and it's going to be a great show on what is a unique track, one of a kind. This is a track like no other. This track has not been in any other league to our knowledge, and it's been none of the top tier leagues. So a great show showing tonight. You'll get to see the track layout. The Homestead Roval. This track is so unique to the point that these drivers actually love it over the Indianapolis road course. We adapted this over the off season of season 4. So back in postseason of season 4, we checked it out. We did some checking, and sure enough, it turns out that this was an awesome track that these guys loved, and we put it into retrospect last season and had 2 of our best races in the Truck Series and the Cup Series both, with the Cup Series having no cautions in the first time ever, no cautions except for stages, and trucks I think had 1 caution. So first time ever, awesome. And we come back here, second race of the season, with these new guys. They're ready to tackle this track, and it's going to be an interesting race throughout the entire event.
Can't wait to see how everything shakes out and what's going to be the second time that the trucks have taken on this course. And I know we've had a couple of other drivers pop their head in here into the booth. I'm not sure if they're going to be joining us or if they're just trying to see what the heck is going on, because, well, it's the Roval at a track that really has no actual official quote-unquote Roval. So, but either way, it should be a good time. Like I said, we've got 15 drivers going through it tonight, so let's just do a quick rundown of that while we're waiting on the official invites to get in. Bringing up the rear in the 33 machine is going to be Toby Welsh. Starting 14th in the number 18 machine is going to be King Lodbro. Starting 13th in the 16 machine will be CCDN Loading, but I know that he goes by a different name, right?
No, he does not.
Oh no, that's just Loading. Okay. Alright. I can never keep up with who's changed their names and who hasn't, so, but it's all good. Starting 12th in the number 40 machine will be Tater Tot. Starting 11th in the 32 machine will be HD, but you'll see him as CCDN Morton on screen. Starting 10th in the 38 machine will be Red Hawk. Starting 9th in the number 88 will be Drake. Starting 8th in the number 26 machine will be R. Denny. Starting 7th in the number 20 will be Mr. J. Starting 6th in the 24 machine will be One Bad. Starting 5th in the 99 machine will be Flash. Starting 4th in the 98 will be D-Port Eddie. And starting 3rd in the number 3 machine will be Dr. Clater. And on the front row on the outside in the number 2 machine will be LRS. And starting on the pole with a lap time of 44.357 seconds, the number 23 truck of Bad News Ducky. So, should be an interesting field for sure. We had 14 qualify. Toby came in a little bit late, but he'll still be able to run. The gap very distant apart though when we're looking at these qualifying times.
Yeah, there was a lot of differential because some of these drivers have never touched this track. A few of them hit the track maybe one time for a quick little 5-lapper practice, and then they said, you know what, screw it, I'm not that good on road courses. Let's go out there and let's just hope for the best. So some drivers put down a good lap, and then those guys up towards the front are most of the guys that ran here last year, and so they have an idea. Nothing changed. We didn't change the layout or nothing, so they have an idea of how this road course is laid out. They have an idea where the braking zones are, how to operate the track. So with that preconceived knowledge, they were able to go out there and tackle a great lap time. Ducky came out late in the running and showed up, and he was very impressed that he actually put down the solid lap of pole. So Very excited to see him on pole. That was his first pole of the season. But again, it comes to show that the experience across this whole series in the trucks for this Homestead Roval, only racing it one other time. So even these veterans have only been on this track one time in a league race. Other than that, it's just been nothing but practice and prepping.
Less than 3/100 separate first and second place. Just for those sitting at home wondering how close it was, it's 2/100s from first to second. Then it goes to about 2/10, and then from there it starts to spread out as you go further back in the field. But again, we've got 15 drivers ready to go here. We should be getting the invite here in just a moment. So Alex, I know that you had mentioned it. The drivers that are out front are the ones that have had the experience. Should we expect any changes or anybody potentially coming up through the field, or do we think that this is just going to kind of be a Ducky, LRS Clater, Eddie kind of a race?
You know, from the talks aforementioned just now, I think Ducky and LRS are going to be the top two to beat. They know this track inside out just about, even though they've only raced it one time with all the practice they have to it. D-Port has shown a little bit of speed. However, I will say I know for sure that Clater is going to be a good threat probably. He knows his road course pretty well. And then a couple of these guys that are towards the back, I mean, most of them are new guys, and they're going to be just trying to learn the course, how it operates. One guy that I will say to watch out for is Loading. Loading came in with no perceived knowledge of this track, learned it. He's just naturally good at road courses. He is also a F1 league racer, so he has a lot of road course knowledge. So with that, he transformed it over to the Homestead Roval and turned it into a pretty good car. He said he's gotten his times down to where they should be. So I'm hoping for a great show.
It'll be interesting to see how these drivers perform, and like you keep saying, the experience matters just a little bit more. But again, 34 laps around what we're calling the Homestead Roval. I know that you've said that we really haven't seen this anywhere else, and I'm not quite sure if anybody else has been ballsy enough to try it.
Well, and here's where I'll kind of lead into the idea of the layout before y'all see it too. But being ballsy enough to run it, yes, that's a very good word to use, because these guys had no idea what we were even thinking about. But this track is very unique. We're going into a spot on the track where there's absolutely zero grip, because this game is not meant for these vehicles to run where we're going to be running tonight. So there's zero grip. The way these trucks are set up, they're set up for an oval. The chassis and everything about it is set up for an oval, and we're running a road course on the oval. So you've got a lot of different factors into this. You gotta change up your pit strategy. You gotta change up everything about it. And there is a transition of banking coming off of the last section onto the oval straightaway, coming down onto the front stretch. So there's going to be a lot of different changes going on, and that's going to be the biggest spot I think we want to watch for. And then there's also a invisible concrete barrier next to a set of cones, and some people have hit that in practice. So it's going to be very sketchy as far as how they play this out. You got to take it slow, and then part of the layout, kind of give you an idea. Of course, y'all see it once we get going. We use the apron in turns 1 and 2. Again, you're going to be thinking that we're out of our minds, but we race it, and some of these guys actually like it. So we do not use the oval in turns 1 and 2. You'll see the guys go on the oval for the first lap, and then on the second lap, they will go into the road course section. Just that way we get the cars kind of spaced out and not everybody going dive into the pit road access road. So we take the pit road access in 1 and 2. We come back onto the straightaway on the backstretch. Then we go into a road course section that is present right where the concrete on the left-hand side kind of starts fading down, tapering down to turn 3. There is a road course to the left-hand side. We take a sharp left-hand turn, and we follow that through. It takes you to another almost immediate 90-degree angle left-hand turn, and then takes you to a little straightaway where you do a chicane coming onto or coming out of turn 4, leading into that banking change that takes you back to the start and finish line.
And when you guys were coming up with this original concept, I remember being there for some of the early talks when it came to this race. But how exactly did you guys come about trying to throw this into the schedule? And what was it like when you brought this up to some of the drivers?
Well, that's a really good question. I like it. So, like I said, the drivers were wanting a lot of road course ideas. They're wanting more road courses at the time, so we decided to go about the road courses and try to look for something. At the time, we had just been given the Indy Roval as an option, so we took care of that. However, if y'all know the game well enough, the game has multiple penalties, off-course penalties that are honestly BS. They're not the best choices, and people run off in certain sections where really they should not get a penalty, and they do. So, short summary there, we did not like it. Drivers didn't like it, the admin didn't like it. It wasn't going to provide good racing for our style. So, you can say we suck at it or whatever, but it did not fit our league. So we said, you know what, let's find something to replace it. Let's not run, but let's be different. Going into season 5, let's be different. Let's not just run another oval or another road course in place of it. Let's not have a third race or a second race at a road course. Let's find something different that nobody else has ever done before. And we did some testing with New Hampshire, Homestead, Pocono, Charlotte, and we found this road course. And SP found it. And we're like, okay, let's see what it's like. We did testing, a lot of different test sessions because the timer would beat us to the finish line. We'd do a full race, and it beat us to the finish line. So like, all right, how do we beat the timer? That was the biggest thing, was how do we get to have cautions and everything, and not to have any issues with the timer itself. So we did that, and we finally figured out the best way to do that, and that is going to be something you'll see different tonight. Tonight we're running a 25% race, not a 50% race. If we run a 50% race at the Homestead Roval, the timer will kick on before, even if it's a green flag race from start to finish, we will have the timer come on before we can get to the finish line. So we did a 25%er, and that's where we found out. But the drivers liked it. The drivers thought it was going to be an absolute crap fest going into the first race of last year. Come to find out, they were talking coming up to the first race, and they're like, yeah, this ain't gonna work, good luck, I feel bad for this whole race. Not a whole lot of good come out of it. At the checker flag of the cup race, because we had trucks before that, so by the time it was all said and done, we had our best races ever, and these guys absolutely loved it, and they said they had nothing but good feedback.
That's always a positive to hear when something like this, especially something this innovative, is coming to light. And obviously we know, especially in real life, drivers, they're always a little bit skeptical of new tracks, and then half of them end up liking it, half of them don't, and it definitely feels like that's what's happened here. So it's about 7:10 here in Mountain Time, so about 9:10 Eastern, which means here any moment we should be getting the official invite here from or I forget, I believe it's SP or Ducky. I know one of the admins is in there trying to make sure everybody is set up, good to go.
Probably LRS, I guess.
Yeah.
LRS or Ducky. I'm getting some last minute confirmations from Luke, and then we'll get rolling here momentarily.
Awesome.
I say before, let's do something a little different. While we have a little bit of pause in the action, I would say, let's kind of celebrate with our national anthem. Let's get some pre-race introductions, pre-race ceremonies underway while we wait for our official invite. So, yeah, guys, join us in the national anthem, and we'll be right back for the green flag to tonight's Homestead-Miami Roval. Alright guys, and welcome on back to the running of tonight's Miami Roval 34L. Y'all can see in the top right hand corner we do have the layout of this road course. And we are getting
Y'all actually drew it in. You actually drew it in.
I did some fixing up this afternoon and took a preconceived picture and did the best I could with it.
Okay, well, that helps me as well because for some reason I always forget how it looks, and then it's like, now wait a minute, I know I've run this before, so, but it's all good. But yeah, no, like you said, 25% race officially being called the UTLR Truck Series Miami Beach 34L. So here we've got all the cars, or trucks, I should say, not cars, but trucks. Oh, one decided to just go ahead and start running the road course, even though there's nothing there. I don't know where he was trying to dive into.
SP is just back in the race, so
okay.
He's just backing out.
We already have one back out there too.
Yeah, Taylor Tot lagged out on the start, so.
Oh no. Well, I guess instead of 15, we're gonna have 14 drivers here tonight. So, definitely not what we wanted to see, but unfortunately when we're trying to race all over the country, that's kind of what happens here. So, we're getting everybody set up here. So again, once we go green for this first lap, they are going to go around the regular track, and then lap 2 of the official race is where they will start diving and taking the actual road course here. So, we're going to give it just a second here. Again, Bad News Ducky on the pole for us, with LRS by his side in the number 2 machine. And let's try some yeah, I was gonna say, let's try some Homestead Roval racing. So let's see how this goes. And obviously the first lap, everybody's gonna go around naturally, try to spread this out just a little bit, because I'm sure as many of you have driven at Homestead, the access lanes are a little bit narrow, so not exactly the best time to try to go side by side. So everybody trying to jockey for position as we head in. So it'll be Ducky in first, LRS second, Dr. Clater going high through 3 and 4, trying to have a little momentum coming out.
It's time to Roval. Here is the moment I've waited for. Here we go. Roval time.
Yep, so here's the Roval, and
people sent it in.
Wow. Yeah, and LRS is the only one that's really been able to hang on to it. They're going through 1 and 2, and he's going to come out looking really, really nice.
Yeah, a lot of people overshot that.
Gap. Yep, so we'll get back to LRS as he's going to show everybody here, as he's going to dive down as close as he can to that concrete barrier in 3 and 4, continue to take the access road, and then there's a little bit of a turn there. There is actual turtles there, so you can actually go ahead and take it as a normal turn, and then everybody will pop back out and take off, and that is a lap here at the Roval. And LRS, I mean, if he just continues to hit 1 and 2 clean, he may run away with this race really, really early and not let anybody catch him.
Well, and now that you see how this road course is ran, a few guys overshot the entry into turn 1 there, and now you're seeing people understand how this road course works. A lot of them did take practice laps, so they just overshot the course simply, but rule is only 2 tires at least on the track unless they overshoot it. So we'll see how his drivers handle it as they been getting off in the grass going into that turn 3 road course section.
Yep, so we've got the 18 around, and now the 20 goes around.
Yeah, and it is going to be, unless the admins said differently, they should be sticking to our rule of 3 or more cars, with it being a road course, so our road course rules are in play tonight.
Just kind of cycling through the field here. Looks like the 26 machine has made a huge jump all the way up to what appears to be second place, and he is closing quickly. That is our Denny, who's currently sitting in second place right now.
And there goes Ducky
now
for
he's
the pass.
Yeah, Ducky's just going to go ahead and take that one away. So your top three is going to be LRS, Ducky, and Ardeni. But Ardeni's going to try to get into him, and Ducky, not quite sure what happened there, loses it just a little bit. So he's going to give up third place. That's going to be the Flash there in the 99.
Yeah, Flash showing dominance here early on, trying to make his way through the field. But I've got to say, Denny is surprising me early on at a road course that he absolutely hates. He told me multiple times how much he hates here. In practice, he would stay on the oval instead of run the road course a few times. So good to see him showing out early.
Yeah, these front four slowly broken away. Again, LRS still your leader, Flash in second. And here comes Ducky to take away third from Ardeni. Takes it away cleanly here, but Ardeni still trying to charge back up. So trying to stay here with the second and third battle as Ducky's going to push on Flash. They're coming out of the last chicane side by side here. Looks like Flash is going to have just a little bit of an edge coming back to the line.
Yeah, you saw some guys... if you overshoot the entry into turn 1 or into turn 3, and looks like we have a caution. So,
yeah, the 18 is around. That is load broke that went around there. Just trying to cycle through the field, not seeing anybody else that got caught up in that mess as it stands right now. The 32 and 16 are just sitting side by side. I think they're trying to figure out who's supposed to go ahead of who there. But it looks like Mr. J may have gotten caught up as well. So we'll get these guys bunched up here in just a moment. I'm assuming we
settings right, because this race is not supposed to have game cautions on. And
is that what we're getting reports of? Is that it is game caution?
No, I can tell just by these guys are being perfectly spaced out. There ain't no way. Yeah, it's a game caution.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay.
That's gonna be a top there.
All right,
anyway,
so
back to the action.
Yeah, so another lap around here. So a little bit of change up at the front as well, as it is now the number 3 of Dr. Clater and HD up front. And Dr. Clater says, hey, I'll take the access road, but I'm pretty sure this was the lap where everybody's supposed to just go normally.
Yep.
So he may have something to say about that later on, but HD's currently hanging on to the lead. LRS currently side by side with Flash. That's going to be for second. Ardeni's still trying to push it and make it an issue that he wants to be in the top 5. As we got beaten and banging there in the back of the field. Not quite sure what is going on there. So, oh, we got a truck flipping. Not sure if you saw that on your screen.
No, I did not. Was not able to catch it.
Yeah, loading came out of 3 and 4. Yeah, loading came out of 3 and 4, and he was flipping here on my screen. So, but let's get back to the front. Unfortunately, again, with in-game cautions, it's kind of a who wants it anyway type situation. But LRS, bad news, Ducky cuts it in deep, taking second away from the 32 machine there. That's another battle for second, as LRS so far has been pretty clean once he gets out front.
Yeah, these guys
looks like he's gonna
cooking right now. OHD gets a little help from behind, and that's the spot where I was talking about in pre-race. Coming off that last chicane onto the banking change, guys are going to get in the back of each other, and you're going to either get loose on your own, with it being ×4 wear, or you're going, like I said, you're going to have help, and you're going to get turned around.
So the 23 falls back just a couple of clicks here. As we're looking back at third, that's going to be Dr. Clater and Flash, who are currently competing for third place, just shortly behind your leaders. So looks like everybody's coming through the chicanes now just clean. So again, a little bit of a challenge with this being a brand new racetrack here is coming back. We have the 98 and the 26. It looks like they're going to be in the battle for 5th. And that's going to be Deport and Ardeni. And I know you mentioned it earlier, Ardeni is not really known to be a road course guy. But here he is possibly competing for a top 5 so far, as the race is still very early on.
Oh yeah, these guys are just now kind of understanding the track, getting a good idea of how this track is ran. They got a few laps underneath their belts, so they're finally able to kind of cruise around and figure the track out for themselves. Each and every lap is a challenge presented to these drivers, as these tires wear out so much quicker than what they normally do. Last year we ran ×2, and here is ×4. So you double that wear, and it's going to be killing these drivers as this race prevails.
As HD is trying to take it as easy as he can, but it looks like Loading got stuck in the grass there, so he's going to have to make up a little bit of time there. The 38 machine of Red Hawk trying to get caught back up here with Mr. J as I'm just kind of cycling through the back of the field as One Bad has now slipped back just a little bit there in the 3 machine, even though he should not be in the 3 machine. I'm wondering, do we potentially have 2 number 3s on the track?
Yeah, that must be a mistake on their end. And
yeah.
To reference back to something real quick that I failed to realize is that caution earlier was a game caution. We are not running game cautions. That was the stage for stage 1 that we just absolutely missed.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know that it was that quick.
I forgot in practice that we ran a test session and they were only 6 laps and 7 laps for stage 1 and stage 2.
Oh,
I'll get a lap count this time by. I think we're coming to the last lap or the second to last lap of stage number 2. So, yes.
Yeah, super quick little race here, but again, LRS leading the way. Dr. Clater now a very solid second as Ducky comes out third. And we are just cruising along here at the Miami Beach 34L. I think that's the official name that we've given this. As our Denny's having issues coming out of the chicane. One Bad sitting right behind him, and here comes the rest of the field.
Yep, this is the last lap of the stage 2, so they'll be coming around this time. LRS out front. Clater is about a second and a half back to LRS, and then you got Ducky about 4 seconds back from Clater.
As we have Deport and Flash fighting it out for 4th, just shortly behind them. But going back to the line here, unless anything crazy happens here in any second, which it won't, LRS takes stage 1 and stage 2.
Yep, so this last stage is going to be a tricky one. So you have 12 laps in the tank is all you get. And there's 21 laps. So you should be able to make it. I don't know how it's going to play out as far as the road course, because you're actually taking more track than you are on the oval. So I don't know how it's going to play a role. However, I've never done the ×4 on the trucks on a full race. So this will be interesting to say the least to see how it plays out.
Absolutely, it will. Definitely, everybody will have to take one stop. It'll be interesting to see who tries to short stop it, who goes for the long run, and who tries to gain a little bit of track position here. But so far, it's been LRS out front, Glader second, Ducky third. That's how your top 3 run as it stands right now. Just waiting for the stage to come to an end, and you have to assume everybody's coming into pit this time.
Oh yeah, most definitely. These tires are shot beyond belief. So there ain't no way nobody's going to stay out under this caution for the stage. But looking on Ducky's stream, and thank you to shout out to Ducky for streaming tonight for our onboard preference. And yeah, we're getting ready for stage number 3 here. And these guys are going to be about 8 laps, 7 laps short to start the stage.
Yep, so we'll have to see how this restart goes with LRS and Deport sitting on the front row, then Claire and Ducky in row 2, and then row 3, if we can get back there. Let's see who we got back there. And One Bad with our Denny. Yeah, with our Denny trying to dive low to, again, he's sitting here consistently in the top 10. But right now, as it looks like he got about 5 trucks splitting away from the rest of the field.
Yeah, and Lowbrook got into One Bad there, forcing it almost 4 wide off the exit of 4. And one guy you don't want to talk about much, but he's hanging out there in the back just on his first debut race, and that's Loading back there. Just chilling in the back, hanging out, seeing what it's all about, and taking it one by one.
Yep, as we got a whole bunch of chaos as Deport looks like he may have gotten shifted off the track as everybody was trying to stay on the track, so he gets shuffled way back through the field. So it'll be interesting to see how he works his way up. But let's get back to the front here. LRS back out front. Ducky sitting in second. And I believe that is...
Clayton
yeah,
in
so
third.
that is Dr. Claire in third. R. Denny fourth. One Bad in fifth. So,
Yeah, One Bad's
and
gonna
then
take
the
that spot
99
away
of...
from Denny
Yep.
down the straightaway.
Yep, he's taking that spot away, and it looks like he may not be the only one. His Flash is hot right on his back bumper.
Yeah, this race is heating up in the top three. LRS does not seem to be pulling away at the pace that he was.
LRS, Ducky, and Clater all within just about a second of each other as Evan tries to shoot it in deep. And again, the way that he's been shooting that corner, he's been able to make up a lot of ground on these other drivers.
Yeah, and he's really cutting that corner just to his preference, right on the nick of what we asked for, and he's able to make it work. It seems like he is stronger on the entrance of the turn 3 section, and LRS is stronger in the turn 1. But that pit road access is very tricky because it's all about how far can you send it before you do have to downshift in the third to make the corner.
Yeah, and it looks like LRS has absolutely aced it here so far in this first opening half of the race. And Ducky, again, doing everything he can to try to make sure that he gets as close as he can, but definitely not his best entrance that time, allowing LRS a little bit of breathing room out front. But these front three trucks now easily pulling away by about 3 or 4 seconds, as it looks like that is One Bad who's finally taken 4th place.
Yeah, and right behind them is a battle with Flash and, like, who was that?
Our Denny's back there, I see.
Who's that beside, is that Flash and One Bad going after it? Looks like it appears in front
Let's
of them.
take a look here and see what we have going on. So One Bad has definitely split away, and it looks like that is our Denny, and I want to say that might be, that might be Deport finally looking his way back up through the field.
That 98, 99 blend in with almost the exact paint scheme. I was like, I know they're teammates, I just don't know who's who.
Yeah, Deport definitely working his way back up. His Flash sits right behind him with our Denny behind them. So, but again, One Bad sitting in 4th, Deport taking 5th as it sits right now. So we're starting to get a little bit of spacing out throughout the back of the field as Red Hawk tries to come down on Lodebroke. Nothing there as Lodebroke is able to clear, but now he gets set into the grass. So he's going to be shuffled to the back just a little bit as Red Hawk is able to start driving away.
Yeah, Drake was trying to just hang back and see what those two are going to go after, because I saw on the entrance of one, Lodebroke sent it in, hoping that truck would stick, and it did not. Red Hawk able to take advantage of it.
LRS now almost a comfortable couple of seconds ahead of our second place driver of Bad News Ducky, and Clater still hot on his heels. So I think LRS was right when he said that, hey, if you're going to try to pick anybody tonight, you should pick myself or Ducky, because we definitely feel like we've got the trucks to beat. And so far, it definitely feels as though LRS has had the truck to beat in that number 2 machine.
Well, he also was our inaugural Truck Series winner of this track 1 year ago whenever we tackled it. So this guy, he's an admin. He knows how to get the job done. He was one of the ones helping in testing to make sure that this track was up to par, to make sure that we could run it and nothing would be out of chaos for it. And he has just made this track his own, as he's been nothing but dominant in the first 2 seasons so far for this track.
As we cycle back to second here, Dr. Clater has officially made the pass on Bad News Ducky, so Dr. Clater moves up to second, Ducky slides back to third, but it really is a 3-truck race at this point, as looking back towards 4th and 5th, they're a good almost half of straightaway behind, as Ducky almost gets into a little bit of a door check there with Dr. Clater. I think it was more just a little bit of a rub more than an intentional hit there. But it looks like Ducky's going to be the first one to pit.
Wow.
So pit strategy now coming into play here, as now it looks like One Bad's going to go ahead and join him, as he looks like he might have actually got caught up on the wall there.
So Ducky is coming across right now. He'll have 9 to go with 9 laps left in the tank, so he's going to be right on the money. He came in almost a lap early, but he came in right in on the money, so this is going to be a money stop for Ducky. We'll see who else comes in this next time by.
Yes, Ducky's already on his way out here, and it looks like he's still going to be in a pretty decent position, still ahead of a few other trucks there.
And here comes LRS.
So it looks like that is, yeah, and there come the leaders.
Yeah, so Ducky does
seems like
re-emerge in 6th place. Sorry.
No, you're absolutely fine. I appreciate you telling me, as it looks like Flash and, yeah, it looks as though Flash and Deport are going to stay out on the track. It looks like they're going to try to go one more time around.
Yeah, these guys, if they wanted to, they could go around for another solid, probably 3 to 4 laps, probably.
Be interesting to see. I don't know if they came out as the leader or who exactly is cycling out, because here comes LRS, so I do think it is actually Flash and Deport that are currently 1 and 2 right now.
You have that correct. Right now it is Flash out in front with Deport in the 2nd position.
We'll have to see how long these... Yep, and so far Flash does not, but Deport does. So we'll keep our eyes here on Flash, as again he is holding on to the lead,
so
getting some crucial time ahead of everybody else.
So right now you also have Lowbroke way back there in 2nd position. He is one of the trucks that has still stayed out. Ducky, I know, is 4th, and so I'm going to guess that LRS is probably 3rd, if not 5th. I don't know for sure, as we have 7 to go. It'll be 6 to go this time by for our leader, Flash Champ.
Yeah, and Flash, we kind of documented his story a little bit, where last season it just wasn't working out, and we had a little bit of a health scare with him, as now we see him coming into the pit, so he's going to go ahead and chance it now. So, but yeah, no, it's always good to see him back here on the track. But your new leader in the Green 18 machine is going to be King Loadbroke, and we have to assume he's going to be coming in soon.
So correction on that, it's actually Ducky. He was a lap truck, supposedly. So Ducky is going to take over the race lead with Clater about a 2nd back, with LRS about, actually no, sorry, Clater is now about a half a second back to Ducky, and you have LRS right on the back bumper of Clater.
Yep, and I've got all 3 here on my camera as we're riding along with LRS here on my vision here of the race. So, and again, it feels right that it's these 3 drivers fighting it out here for the win.
And a good fight right now, because we're going to be coming around, I believe, for 4 to go. We'll get about to just a second. I believe it should be about 4 to go this time by.
Yep, as Ducky is going to push Clater for the issue and try to take the lead as they are side by side going through the pit access road, keeping it off of each other. Maybe a little bit of a rub there from Bad News Ducky getting Clater, but it looks like Bad News Ducky is going to come out the leader. But here comes LRS.
Yep, and come around this time will be 4 to go as Ducky is trying to claim this win here early in the season. But LRS, the reigning series champ, and the Truck Series winner from last season at this very track, is trying to do it once again. He's making his outside look to Ducky.
Yep, and they are outside, and they're going to come side by side. Ducky still officially had the lead that time by, as now we're coming back down the pit access road. Ducky now hanging on to the middle. A little bit of a wiggle there from LRS, as it looks like Clater has fallen off just enough to make this just a 2-truck race for the time being.
Yeah, looks like for sure that 3-truck of Claire has fallen off just enough that this is going to be a Ducky and Luke show, and LRS is going to be trying to make every move possible, but he knows what he has to do, as they got lap traffic to deal with coming up in just a couple moments. So they're going to have to get by some of these lap trucks, and how are they going to manage it in these road course sections where it's been very slippery all night long, as we're down to 3 laps to go this time.
Yep, LRS just hunting the back bumper of Bad News Ducky as it stands right now. That is Red Hawk right in front of them, going through 1 and 2 right now. So you keep saying it, that lap traffic may be a thing, and I think that's what we're going to come down to, as LRS has a fantastic exit there through the pit access, and he is now on the inside. They're side by side. Does he have enough to take the lead?
Wow.
And he backs out of it.
Usually coming off of the, you would think the inside prevails here, and I will say, as much as I'm shocked on that, I'm also not, because I know that the outside does give a way better run if you arc it just right.
As Red Hawk dives down, not quite sure if he was trying to pit there, but we've got 2 to go this time.
Yeah, 2 to go, and things are heating up for these drivers of this number 23 machine and this number 2. Ducky, somebody who is just always... He's like a Ryan Blaney in the league. He is always hot-tempered sometimes, but he just is hungry for wins. He wants to win in everything he climbs into. Every single weekend he races, he wants to win in everything. And then you have the reigning series champ diving it in.
Who just makes the heck of a run, but ooh. Ducky's still able to hang on to it, as we've got a number 88 truck who's trying to get back on track. Yeah, not quite sure what happened with the 88 coming out. And the 23 has to come down pit road.
He's out of gas.
He was 1 lap short.
He's out of gas.
He was 1 lap short.
White flag.
Not what he wanted to see. And it's going to be LRS and Clater out in the front.
LRS.
Evan pushed it, and he falls 1 lap shy.
LRS has this in the bag. Clater's nowhere to be... Well, actually, no, Clater's right there. He could make a move in this road course section with its lap traffic.
Yep, we will have to see how it goes, but Clater has closed in. He's got about a 3 truck length advantage here as Mr. J moves out of the way.
These guys
it is still LRS here out front. And I appreciate everybody moving out of the way. Can he get through the turn cleanly? He does. And going wire to wire in the number 2 machine, LRS takes home the Miami Beach 34L.
What a battle. Yeah, Ducky pushed it. I knew he came in probably a lap earlier because his tank was reading about 10 to go and coming across for 9 to go. So he was right on the money. But with him pushing as hard as he was, I thought he might be a lap or 2 short. And sure enough, he was. He was actually sputtering coming off that final chicane.
Intense scenes, and obviously we all know that Ducky loves pushing it for the win here. So LRS comes home first. Dr. Clater comes home second. But who's coming home third?
One Bad is third. Deport fourth. Flash fifth. And Ducky still comes home sixth out of the 14 truck field, with Lowbroke in 7th, Denny 8th, CCD and Morton 9th, and Loading in the 10th position.
Alright, so not a bad race at all. So we should be taking a break here in just a moment. We're going to go ahead and get our top 3 drivers. But again, the number 2 of LRS takes it all home, the stages and the victory here from Homestead Roval.
What a battle we've seen tonight, indeed. And as we get ready for what is to be probably an interesting post-race interview from these top 3. So we'll be right back, and we'll have y'all's top 3 ready to be interviewed here from Miami Beach 34. welcome back, guys, as we have our interviewers Ray at the mark and here in pit road as they climb out of the vehicles. I'm over here with Mr. One Bad climbing out of his truck after a interesting race for him. One Bad, you looked strong early on. You look like you had a decent truck overall. How was the track tonight, with it being the second ever time that we've ever raced here, and how did you work around the traffic and the track itself tonight?
Track was normal as far as that Indy Roval goes. The times full wear made it a little difficult on old tires. Them last 2 laps, boy, you're praying. And we did pretty good. The truck was good tonight. I stayed out front. I think I finished second in the first stage. On the second stage, I had pole. Got a little over anxious and dove for the infield when I was supposed to stay on the Roval first, so I came out like 12th. But I climbed my way back up there. I think I finished like 4th or 5th in the second stage. Took right sides on that last pit. Got her back to 3rd, but at that last lap, man, I thought the next 2 cars or trucks were going to catch me because it was everything I do to hold her on the road. But all in all, it was a good race. I had fun.
Now, how's this translate from, like, was there anything different you could have done from your performance last year to this year as a driver yourself? Was there anything different that you did this year? I know we had the times 2 versus the times 4 this year, but just first 2 years of this track, kind of in a whole overall as a track's perspective, how you look at it as a good track for us, or maybe not so well of a track?
It's pretty good. I mean, it definitely tests your braking abilities and, knowing where you can coast and where you can get on the gas. And I mean, it's a difficult road course. I'll give you that. Those last 4 or 5 turns are a bitch, just putting it mildly. But we did this basically same thing we did last year. We get into a rhythm. I find that if I try to overstretch that rhythm and try to get a little more speed, I end up overshooting 2 or 3 turns and then screw the whole lap up. So I've just got to where now I just get in my rhythm and I try to hold that rhythm until my tires wear off. And then you got to adjust for that. Next thing you know, you're power sliding into turns you didn't normally power slide into. So, like I said, it's just one of those tracks where tire wear and staying on top of the groove and just staying in that rhythm really means a lot.
Well,
my hats off to LRS, and I'm glad he got the win. He's pretty dominant tonight in tonight's race. He got right out there and took off. I don't think anybody had too much for LRS. I know Ducky and Eddie had a good battle there. I don't know what happened to Ducky, but I will take that 3rd spot, and I won't complain. Good race tonight, fellas. Good admin.
Well, and so something that's different this year from last year too. Not all the series are at the same track this time around. So used to, you be getting ready to do this track again. How has this changed for you as a driver, having to switch from a road course like Homestead Roval over to the Cup cars tomorrow at Las Vegas?
By practice, and we're going to get on there and do some practice as soon as I get done with this interview. But that's what it's going to take. It's just going to take. I'm used to moving between the leagues. I've been in this league for probably 5-6 years now, so it's a really good group of guys. We've got a lot of new guys coming in. That's why I enjoy racing the Xfinity and Truck Series, because I like to get to race with the new guys and learn their grooves. And there's new guys in here that are faster than I am, and they just came in. So I'm not amongst old dog learning new tricks. So it's just great to see all the new people and the new drivers, and I look forward to a great season on all three sides. So it should be fun.
Awesome. Well, One Bad, appreciate you. Go celebrate with the team for that 3rd place finish and get that car loaded up, and hurry up to Las Vegas, because I know you got a trip ahead of you.
Absolutely, guys. And great broadcasting tonight. Good job.
Thank you, sir. All right, and that takes us, as he steps away, I see old Clater right here walking up to me, hoping that he gets an interview. Clater, how was the track tonight? What was your thoughts about it?
It was great. It's my first time running it. Each lap was different. Had a bunch of screw ups definitely on that first lap that we did the Roval. I kind of went off track, had to get a stop and go there. But besides that, there wasn't really any issues driving wise for me. Just kind of just learn each lap and see kind of what LRS and Ducky were doing for about 8 laps straight. I got the hang of it, but on that last pit stop, I took 2 tires, and by the end, like 3 to go, it started to wear out a ton, and couldn't exactly make any gains on LRS or Ducky, but I was kind of just there watching it, and then unfortunately Ducky ran out of gas. Kind of just snagged second. Should really be third, but I'll take a second.
Well, so were you hoping to flip the strategy on Luke coming into that final pit stop with some type of strategy, or did you just know that there's no way to flip the strategy and try to beat him, just hope that he makes a mistake?
Yeah, I was kind of just banking on a mistake. I didn't really think any strategy-wise. The only strategy I did was taking 2 tires in the last pit stop, and I think he took 4, so I gained a few seconds on him there, but it obviously at the end of it didn't really pay off.
Well, and I mean, like I said, you still came home second place. Now, with you, like you said, this is your first time. This is your rookie year in the league, and then you also have early on you're testing out a brand new track you've never even thought existed until you probably got over here. So, like I said, you thought it was a challenge every single lap. What was your thoughts going into it in practice and qualifying? You didn't have many laps down, so what was your thoughts going into the race? Whenever you're thinking, okay, yeah, I've practiced with a couple guys, but now we're adding about 14 drivers on track with this road course, and me along with a few other guys are the rookies here, and you think that you're going to have to be a front runner like tonight. What was your process of thinking tonight with all that?
Yeah, with the more drivers than just who I qualified with or practiced with, definitely was a factor. I was not expecting that little room on track around the other drivers, especially going into the turn or the pit exit road. It gets really tight there. I think me and Ducky went too wide there, and that's about as far as you can go there. But it definitely made a difference. It's definitely chaotic on the restarts, the first lap on the Roval. But yeah, going into the race, I really didn't know what to expect. I was just along for the ride.
Well, you did amazing, my friend. You came home with that silver, and like a lot of drivers say, ain't nothing wrong with silver. You take it, especially as your first time here. So, way to put on a show, and we hope to see you at Las Vegas tomorrow night.
Yep, unfortunately I won't be at Vegas, but I'll be there next week.
All right, well,
but
enjoy the trip back home, and go celebrate with the team.
Yeah, I will. Thank you. Good win, LRS.
Thank you.
All right, and Ian, I see that you're over there in Victory Lane with Rudolph Borges Victory Lane, so I'll let you go down there with the winner.
And all roads did lead to LRS tonight, sweeping both stages, bringing home the win after what may have been a little bit more of a headache than you were anticipating there in the last stage. But you kind of called your shot before the race began, saying that it was going to be yourself or Ducky being here at the front. And yet here we are back here in Victory Lane. How does it feel, and did everything go right with the truck, or what would you have changed tonight?
Yeah, well, thank you for pointing that out. And yeah, I think everything went, it's weird to say, but well, for me, I think everything went perfect tonight. I didn't get into anybody, nobody got into me. I was kind of in a league of my own. The first stage, I won by almost 10 seconds. And then the second stage, I pulled away again. The third stage, I actually had to put up a fight, but Ducky, Clater, they're both really respectable drivers. And the lap cars that were in front of me, they got out of the way, gave me all the room I needed. And yeah, I think everything went right.
Can't argue with those results that you had, especially with the way that you ran away with those first couple of stages here. So with that in mind, I mean, it's as clean a race as we've probably ever seen. And this really seems to be one of those tracks where you're starting to take advantage of it, as you're still the only winner here at this track in this series.
Yeah, recently I've come on, I guess you could say, as a road course racer. I'm very happy that I am the only winner of the Homestead Roval races in the truck series. I also almost came very close to the Cup Series win, but I mean, just, you know, very honored to be here. Shout out to SP for coming up with this great idea in collaboration with Alex. Really, really fun. Everybody raced really fun today. In the voice chat, everyone was nice, friendly, calm, called their lines. It was a really good race.
Well, that's always good to hear. And then obviously we know that you're got to be shifting your gears over to Las Vegas tomorrow as well. here. So did you save anything in the tank for tomorrow, or was it all kind of a let's just get the win, let's get secured into playoffs and worry about tomorrow later?
Yeah, I mean, in the Truck Series, I'm looking for back-to-back championships. But moving on to the Cup Series, I don't think I used up everything today. I think today was just me being patient, being calm, knowing that I could win this. And then at Vegas, personally, I think it's going to be another one of those drafting style tracks. A lot of people don't think so, but I think it's going to play a big part. And it's going to, my friend SP said, this race is going to determine who is fast and who isn't when I was speaking to him. I don't really think that's true. I think this is another one of those draft race tracks, and a lot of people are going to be good. It's going to be hard, but I do like calling my shots. I think I'm going to finish good. I mean, 2 second-place finishes back-to-back in the Cup Series to start the season. I mean, 1 place better is never going to hurt.
I was going to say, you had to have broken that second-place curse here tonight with the way that you were driving here tonight. Did it surprise you to see... God, wow, I totally lost my place there for a second. Did it surprise you to see Ducky dump down with just 1 lap to go there? Or did you kind of know that you had pit it at the right spot and he had burned it up a little too soon?
Yeah, when I was thinking about hitting and I saw Ducky dive in, I was looking at my rearview mirror. I saw him dive in behind Clater, and I was like, that's a little early. The pit window was about 10 laps. We were at around 11 laps to go. I was like, that's a bit early. And then when I called my shot, Clater came in with me, so I wasn't shocked that Ducky ran out of gas. Personally, at first I thought he, got loose, spun into the pit lane, and I felt really bad, but he told me he ran out of gas, which sucks. I mean, we were going to have a really good battle there. I was trying to be really calm, patient with him, and Clater was still there. He was pushing, so it was going to be a good finish if he didn't run out of gas.
Got to take advantage of where you can, and obviously you did tonight. Do you have anything else you want to say to the people before we get out of here?
Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to Clater, to Ducky, to One Bad. He finished on the podium today. Everybody else that finished top 5. Our Denny got a 4th place finish in stage 1. Really good for him. 7th place in stage 2. Great points for him. He's improving a lot this year. And shout out to the entire league. Everyone's getting better this season. We have a lot of competition. We have a lot of new cool things happening. Some new graphics, some new races, new car. So shout out to Alex for that. And shout out to you two for broadcasting. You guys do a great job. And yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. Well, we appreciate you coming in and giving us a few minutes of your time, and that is going to wrap things up here from Homestead. Alex, do you have anything else you want to say before we get out of here?
No, like I said, it was a great showing, great race tonight. A short one, but it was great. I do want to give a shout out. I know we did in previous, but I want to give a shout out to the Xbox One esports racing community for allowing this league to happen, allowing for this race to happen. We didn't really have time to shout them out throughout the race because it was so quick, but Marty does a great job over there. If y'all don't, please go on to Facebook and give him a follow on the Xbox One esports racing community, covering league races for the championships. He does a phenomenal job over there on Facebook on covering every single league, every single night, and he does not miss a single league race. So he does a great job over there, and he's also our league sponsor. So thank you so much for what you do in this league, and thank you for sponsoring this league.
Appreciate everything that Marty does for us, and we are officially done here in the state of Florida. And Alex, where are we heading off to next?
So the trucks, I know it's gonna be crazy, but the trucks are taking another week off next week. So next week will just be the Xfinity and the truck and the Xfinity and Cup, sorry. And we will go to Las Vegas in 2 weeks for the trucks for the throwback race. So yes, throwback week is early for the trucks, but in 2 weeks we go to Vegas for throwback weekend for the truck series.
No Roval to be had there at Las Vegas. So back to the regular oval circuits here for the trucks, but that's going to wrap it up for us here from the UTLR Live Studios. Again, appreciate UTLR Storm for hanging out here in the booth with me. I have been some Wyoming guy 17. Appreciate everybody tuning in. We'll see you in 2 weeks' time from Sin City. Until then, be safe.
Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got don't know how. I see danger in us. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we're gonna let it out. Tonight, we're gonna let it out. Tonight, we're gonna let it out. Just like the sunrise, we're gonna let it out. Just like a spark that's breaking out. Can't make a stop, can't turn back now. We know that there's no room for doubt. No, we can't turn back now.